There it is, Black Power. Black Power. I'm here, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. I see y'all out there. Everybody talking about I'm late. I ain't late. God damn it, I've been doing this shit for 15 years. Been doing it longer than that. They're talking about I'm late. No, nigga, you late. No, you on time. That's what's happening. Shit. You just on time. Motherfucker talking about I'm late. I ain't late. I'm just on time. Shit. The hell y'all talking about? We in the house, family. Come on in. I'm late. Motherfucker, I got the knowledge. The fuck you sit your ass down, nigga. What the hell you talking about? I'm late. Y'all killed me with that shit. You know how many motherfuckers I didn't see with this class and shit in college and motherfucking professor come in when the fuck they want to come in. They ain't saying shit. You sit your ass there till I show up, or don't go get what you need. Shit, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying. I'm just telling you like this. You ain't talking to no little nigga. I've been teaching African people for the last 30 years. What the hell you gonna tell me I'm late? I didn't just put nigga out time. Man, listen here. When y'all here, thank the ancestors I'm able to get here to teach. You know, y'all know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? I got a powerful, but I ain't. I just like to laugh and shit because I know family they get restless. They like said, man, I'm putting out a lot of material, man. Y'all gotta give a motherfucker. I'm on Patreon drop. I just got all Patreon dropping a hard one, and then I gotta do two more and this, that, and the third. And so y'all act like when I come on, live shit, I'm doing two, three at a time, crushing. You see what I'm saying? So y'all got to take that in consideration. I didn't, if y'all see me, if I ain't gonna come on, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know ahead of time. I ain't gonna let you know if you see me and I ain't reschedule. I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? If I reschedule, I'm gonna reschedule ahead of time so that you know that I'm not, I won't be there. You see what I'm saying? And so today we're dealing with a very, very powerful subject. We're going to be talking about ancient African gods of creation. But before we get started, y'all know what time it is. KingSeti.com online marketplace. Official General Sarah Seti DVDs, t-shirts, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, African art and home decor for the family that's trying to transform their home into the African temple that they always wanted. Get on over there. I got some powerful new products up there for the family that I know you're gonna love and like. Get on. I got some more coming on the way. Guaranteed to have you fly. You understand what I'm saying? To the family out there, you know what time it is. Let me go on and drop this. Omex Voyages of the Nile, family. Omex Voyages of the Nile is going down. This Sunday, February the 20th. Let me get that one on about it. February the 20th. Matter of fact, let me go and put the flyer in there. Let me put the flyer in there. Bingo. Bingo. The Omex Voyages of the Nile, the Aboriginal Black Indian myth exposed. And I'm gonna have a preview before the end of the night for the family to let y'all know what I'm gonna be talking, because I got some powerful information. They didn't cause me to go deep, 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 deep into that magic bag of whoop ass. And I'm cracking heads like never before. I don't see Nan, one trying to get up out of that headlock that I'm putting their ass in. They'll go pick with anybody except me, with some real facts. These niggas is spookologists. And like I say, I don't even, I just, I used to do debates and this, that, and the third. But right now, I just, I use them IBM missiles and shit. I just hit them from long distance and shit and still do greater damage. You know what I'm saying? And so, I got some hard information that I'm gonna be dropping in the preview tonight. So y'all just stay tuned, and I guarantee you, but this Sunday, February 20th, 2022, starting at 2 p.m. Eastern, you get the link is right in the matter of fact, it's in the chat. It's also in the video description. If you want to be, you want to see one of the greatest lectures of all time, and it is. It's one of the greatest lectures of all time, waking up our people to the Nile Valley origins of so-called American civilization. And I'm only saying that so you'll know where you at on the map. Not that it wasn't no America, wasn't no goddamn Indians over here. It was just Africans, and they came from Africa. And so, we have to stress that today, because most of these so-called groups out here in this so-called conscious community are anti-African. And I've been stated that a long time ago. But a lot of, this so-called conscious community and niggas that's supposed to be in the Black Power community, the African Center community, they find themselves mixed up in the chaotic brew of ignorance. And so, that's why I don't claim to be, and which I never did. I am not a part of no conscious community. I'm a part of that gas movement, that global African supremacy, and that's all I'm about. But when you look at most of these groups out here in the so-called conscious community, they are anti-African, period. I don't give a goddamn if it's the Moor. I don't give a goddamn if it's the Muslim. I don't give a fuck if it's the Stowe. I don't care if it's the Orthodox Muslim. I don't care if it's the goddamn jailhouse Muslim. All of them is assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum. You see, I don't care which one of these, whether it's the coat, they talking about some Atlantis shit. They talking about some Lemurian shit. They talking about some damn Mayan pyramids older than the ancient Egyptian pyramid. And so now that shit then crept off into the Black community, Black Power community. These niggas don't know what they believe in, because they really didn't have no foundation on the teachings of Marcus Garvey. A lot of these niggas out here even into the communism and Marxism, and we was ruling goddamn 10,000 years before it was a communist or a goddamn Marxist or any kind of other goddamn governments of today. And so, we highly confused. And so I have to come with that pure Black power. That's what I come in honor of Black power, bang for Black power. Nothing else. And so we most definitely gonna be banging on these anti-African wannabe aboriginals who are denying the African Holocaust, which is so damn treacherous to me. You know what I'm saying? That these people, to try to fool you that you come from here and shit, that they will even deny and let this Cro-Magnon Neanderthal off the hook for the genocide that he's done to our people, and where other people, just like the Jews or the Caucasians and this, that, you say anything about they narrative, they on your ass. They'll sit your ass down in a heartbeat. But today we got so many that just lying on, our history, lying on our genocide, and I see these actually as, true enemies of the state, in that sense, because that would leave our ancestors in spiritual purgatory forever if we do not try to achieve justice for our family. You know what I'm saying? And so we got to bang hard. And so I done did some hell of a research, that's going to be, opening up the eyes of our people in this lecture. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So y'all want that smoke? Come and get it. Come and get it. Sunday, February 20th, 2022, starting at 2 p.m. Hit that link, family. And y'all know what time it is. GeneralSeti.com, SETI University. You see the complete General SETI website. Over 800 videos and lectures, too raw for YouTube. The Making of the White Man. I mean, there's plenty of so many different sections of that lecture that was, separated, and just, where I dove deep into each section. And so you got maybe, 15, 20 different videos in that one video library dealing with, the making of the white man. So of course, you know, when you go in there, you're gonna be like, damn, this is where, you know, because this is the only place that I could put this kind of information. Shit, if I put this information anywhere else and you need it, you see, you can sit out here and listen to all this garbage until you come to understand what this beast is, nigga. You gonna lose, and I'm just gonna tell you straight up, you gonna lose. You gonna be out here playing these games, and you know, and you gonna see that whatever you think you know, that shit is not gonna be, you know, in the end game. It ain't gonna do you nothing but, nigga, put your neck deeper or more into that noose. And you know what I'm saying? Motherfucker gonna kick the chair from up under you, and you gonna be up there hanging and wonder, how the fuck did I get myself into this shit? I should have listened to SETI, but I didn't do it. You see? And so generalseti.com, SETI University, you know, right there, the rise of the Neanderthal. Then I got this class that I'm going to be doing over the course of the year, the complete ancient Egyptian studies, the Egyptian mystery system, and its global subordinate systems that I'm going to be digging off into, you know. And so it's just going to be everything ancient Egypt, but it's going to be certified gas. So you ain't just going to get no facts without getting that axe. You know what I'm saying? Meaning you going, the facts is to raise the axe and drop it down in their back. We ain't just quoting no facts to be quoting facts. And many niggas out here, that's all they do. They quote facts, but they scared to drop that act. And so we most definitely, you know, teaching from that gas certified perspective. You know, it got to be about the blueprint of global African supremacy. Or it ain't even, you know, it ain't even worth a motherfucker even trying to talk about it, because the people gonna ask, well, what can I do with this? And so, you know, and so that is always the, you know, one of those filters that I run my information. Well, how could the people use it right now? You understand what I'm saying? For global Africans, how can they use it right now? What is it gonna clarify? You understand what I'm? Can it help my people move that ball closer to the damn goal line? Bust it in. Run it into the goal, into the end zone. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it's all about. And finally, you know, Patreon, General Cyrus Student SETI just dropped a powerful one today. Almost Nefertari, the baddest black woman of the ancient world. You see, powerful. You need to get there and check that out. You know, become a patron. You're getting them live streams that, you know, that's just special, you know, that we can't give it to, you know, out here on the Beast platform, you know, because they ain't gonna sell a lot of it, you know, because I like to do it raw. And so I had to have avenues where I could take this shit up a level. You know what I'm saying? You know, I used to come out on YouTube and you know, they shutting down motherfuckers way lesser than how I come. You know what I'm saying? So if they shutting these motherfuckers down, you know what they'd do if the general came out, you know, straight up, you know. And so I also just did the Order of Melchizedek in the Canaanite Egyptian Mystery School on Patreon. And so these is the, you know, exclusive live streams that I'm dropping over there. So, you know, check me out, family. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube pages and hit, you know, rock that notification bell. And of course, you know, get a video a thumbs up, like it because you love it. Now let's get off into this. We dealing with ancient African gods of creation. And so, you know, in that we have, you know, there's a great science that must be manifested when we say this. You know, in the creation story, you got your cosmological understanding and you got your anthropomorphic understanding. You got to understand when we talk about these creator gods, you know, they are manifestations of ourselves. You see, when we talk about the creator God, Goddess Nu, the mother of the cosmos, the mother of all creation, the mother of the sun. Ain't no damn existence without the sun. You see? And so you see, she's the mother of all creation. But in that, you have Aset and Horus and Asa, which are the physical manifestation, the anthropomorphic manifestation of Nu, of Ra, of Geb, which was the father of Ra. Geb, Nut, and Ra, which was the cosmic trinity. And then you had Aset, you had Heru, you had Asa, which is the anthropomorph, but still manifestations of the same cosmic energy. Because just, Horus is, you talk about Horus, he's the sun, but he's, the S-O-N. But yet and still, from a cosmological aspect, he's the S-U-N. You see? So it's the same manifestation. And so as you see, the cosmic mother Nu give birth to the sun, this is how the manifestation of the divine lineage on this planet. This is why the lineage go through the African woman, because she's the beginning, she's the beginning. So when we start talking about, when I say God, that's gender neutral. You see what I'm saying? But we all, because they never say, and really when, a lot of people say, well, she's the goddess, and, Seti, why do you, why you say the black woman is God? Why do you don't use God? Is because in the understanding and the definition of that, you see, the God is looked at as the one who actually created things. The goddess is only looked at as a consort. You see what I'm saying? And many people don't see her as primordial. You see, they don't see her as primordial, as there in the beginning and having actually a hand in the act of creation. You see? And so and so I tell a motherfucker just like this: until you come through your mama womb, nigga, you don't need, you exist in heaven. That's heaven. You see, that is heaven. And that's where, that's where Dr. Ben came. He said the black woman is heaven. And she is. And in there, even in that, when you look at Nut as the Milky Way, because that's what she is. She's the Milky Way. And so when you look at the Southern Hemisphere, which, when you look to the south of Egypt, when you look up the river, you're looking to heaven, but you're also looking to the center of the galaxy. See, the Milky Way, when you look towards the Milky Way, you're looking towards the center of the galaxy. And in that center is a black hole. And that is the womb of Nut. And so we're gonna be dealing with some powerful energy today. You see, Ptah is also one of those creator gods. And he's also manifested in blackness. Nut is also manifested in blackness. They show many times they might show her to be blue, because some of the deities they'll be black and they'll be blue. Okay, and that shows that, the blue also shows that this is a sky deity. But the primordial color, meaning the premier color of the deity is black. You see what I'm saying? Ptah is black. Even when you go into Abu Simbel, which is the great temple that was built by Ramesses II, and you go all the way into the Holy of Holies of Abu Simbel, you'll see, you have I believe you got Amen in there, you got Heru, I believe, and you got Ramesses II, and you got Ptah. You got 4 deities in there. I might have one off, but the one God that the light didn't shine, because every year around the solstices, the sun will shine all the way up into the temple and shine into the Holy of Holies and light the Holy of Holies up. But the one God that the light don't hit is Ptah, because he's the primordial God of blackness. You see what I'm saying? And so, but now a lot of people don't. Now, when we break it down into, the anthropomorphic, because the physical representation of Ptah, you see, we started getting into some deep science, because a lot of people don't understand that Ptah was a Twa, which was a little what the races called the pygmy, which are the seed people. They are the primordial, they are the primordial on the planet. You see what I'm saying? And so when you look at the Twa, you're going up in the heart of Africa, you're dealing with the seed people, and they were the great physicians. You see, they were the great physicians that brought medicine because they were right there at, in the Congo, around the Great Lakes region of Africa. The criminally renamed Lake of Victoria. Ain't no damn Victoria in no damn Africa. They ain't even got no goddamn Lake Victoria in England. They didn't even give her one in England. So how in the hell she gonna get one in Africa? And so you looking at Ptah and see even in that, and you see that he's in his blackness and his primordial blackness. You got to see that Egypt is named after Ptah. Egypt Ptah. That's his name. The AH has been dropped. But when you spell Gyptah, Egypt Ptah. And so it's named after the primordial black god of the cosmos. You see, and it says, let there be light. God damn it, God created light, but he didn't create blackness. And y'all got to understand that. He didn't create it. Ain't nowhere where they say, God say, let us create blackness. Blackness is primordial. It always existed, from infinite, when there was no time, and even after time, blackness will be primordial in existence. So we got to understand that's why all deities, were manifested, the primordial deities, and were manifested in blackness. You see, and so you see right under Saqqara, and you understanding when Egypt came into existence, that was under the priesthood of Ptah. That was under the priesthood of Ptah. He was the first primordial deity of ancient Egypt. He was the first primordial deity of ancient Egypt, Ptah. And you see right there when you see the step pyramid of Zoser and all the other pyramids, the Great Pyramid of Khufu, Khafra, Menkaure, was all built under the worship of the great god Ptah. And people don't make that make it known, in strength that it is under Ptah where some of the greatest manifestations and megaliths on the planet was erected. You see, and so right here you get what they call the stairway to heaven. You see, where the soul transcended the stairway of heaven to be with the All-Father. You see, to be with the All-Father in the cosmos. And see, this is why when you see, I'm going to be dealing with why solar worship is so important to African people. You got to understand. You see, you got to understand when you see the Ka is always shown black. When you look at when you go to Tut's, when his tomb, and they opened up his tomb, he had those two Ka statues. You see, standing in front of the tomb. He's a man. That's manifestation of resurrection. That means he had already resurrected. You see, he had went through his resurrection process. He had resurrected as God. And so the people don't understand that. You hear these people's always talking about, that was a sign of death. Ain't no death in ancient Egypt. What the hell you talking about? You know what I'm saying? It was only resurrection. And so it wasn't no death. It mummified and that was just like a cocoon, for the soul to, go through its transformation process only to resurrect in the heavens. To be with the great mother and great father Asar and Aset, and the great god is Heru, and the great god is Nu. And so you see, the ancient Africans looked to the south. Why did they look to the south? Because this was the center of the galaxy. People don't understand that. It was the center of the galaxy. And so, and the Milky Way was an extension of the Nile. And that the Nile divinely flowed from heaven. You see? And so, when you start talking about the volcano, the mountains in Central East Africa and in East Africa, a lot of those mountains are volcanoes, and they were sacred to Ptah. You see, they were sacred to Ptah, who was the primary. And so why would they say? And so in the Greco-Roman pantheon, Ptah was, depicted as Hephaestus, or Vulcan, and they, because Ptah was also the god of craftsmen. He was the god of ironsmiths and craftsmen. And it was said that Ptah, he was constructed the universe in the manifestation of an architect. Divine and sacred geometry, and so on. And so that he's the first great architect of the universe. And so, and because the Twa, whom the white boy racially, through racist means called the pygmy, which is derogatory term, they were also the ones that were creating what you call what they call them, where they heat it up. It's like a furnace. You see what I'm saying? Where they was heating these furnaces up to smelt metals. You see, and so you got my mind is, but it's a furnace. My mind is not getting to the word that I need. But it's a furnace where they get it so hot. Let me look at, okay. Get it so hot to where they is able to melt metals. And so the Twa were the first to be able to do that. They were the first to be able to do that. And so Ptah smelting, I understand, but it's something that they call it. You know what I'm saying? Where they were the ancient smelt, and I forget, it's not a furnace, you know what I'm saying? But it is a furnace, but they have a term, a scientific term for it, which y'all know what I mean. And so, you got I'm gonna get that word. Let me get that word. I cannot do that. Well, they say furnace, but that ain't what it was called. I hate when I don't know. Well, I ain't going because goddamn it, that's what they ain't it's a furnace, but it's a particular name for it, and that ain't it. That ain't it. I hate when I know something. I hate when I know know something and that shit can't come to my damn mind. But anyway, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on because y'all know what I mean. But I hate when I know a term. But anyway, and so now, so Ptah was looked at as this great, and so why was the pier or the volcano? Because when you look at because it became what you call the pyramid, house of fire. And so in reference to also Ra being manifested in the pyramid, but they were built under the worship of Ptah. Now the volcano is symbolic of the four elements of creation. It's the four elements of creation. So you're talking about fire, earth, and water. And so how you got in most volcanoes, and a lot of volcanoes you find around water. You got the Ring of Fire in the Pacific, and even Lake Victoria is a volcanic lake. People don't understand that. Many of those lakes in Central East Africa are volcanic lakes. Now, the thing is, when that you got that lava, that when it shoot up, boom, it's going to either come through the water and this, that, and the third. It'll come around that water, or it's already in earth. You understand what I'm saying? It's already in earth, but those particular volcanoes that's around the water, what happens when that lava shoot up, right? it hit that water and then the steam. You see, you get the steam, and so the lava represents fire. Okay, when then being that the volcanoes around water, you got water. You see, you got water, fire, water. Then you got air, which is symbolic of the steam, because when that lava hit that water, it creates steam, which is symbolic of air. And then when it hit that water, it'll cool and make earth. So all the elements within the creation is in the volcano. And so that's why the volcano is looked at. That's what they call the primeval mound. The primeval mound came out of what they say the primeval ocean, the primeval waters of noon. You see, and so that's the primeval mound that they talking about that came out of the water. And so this is the establishment of that, that act of creation. And so everything in the universe, that's why they come with the big bang, boom. You know what I'm saying? And then, and then it talks about, it rained, it created certain elements in the universe where, it started to rain on the hot gases until it cooled. You see what I'm saying? Until it cooled and formed crust and so on and so forth. And then eventually the atmosphere would, come to be what it is today, to where we could breathe and so on and so forth. And the rain on top of the, as it started to cool and it steady raining, it created the oceans and so on and so forth. So in the same manifestation of the volcano. You see what I'm saying? Is in the same manifestation of the volcano. So this is where you get Ptah being the primordial God. You see what I'm saying? And so again, they look to, to the south, because this is where the volcanoes is, and this is where they came from anyway. And many people believe that because the volcanoes in the early stages, was going off on a level to where they had to migrate down the river, because it was, it was, a lot of eruptions that were going on in Central East Africa, to where they had to come down. And so again, that's what we talk about when we talk about creation. When you looking toward creation, you got to look toward towards the center of the galaxy, and to look towards the center of the galaxy, you got to look towards the south. So how is it that our people understood that when they see Newt and you see the Milky Way, in the south, and then they already then said that there's black holes that's in the center of the center of the galaxy, in the Milky Way. All of these things were already laid out in the astronomical diagrams of our people. You understand what I'm saying? They only doing is copying what we've already laid down. We've already laid this down, and our people have studied this for millions of years, not no thousands, for millions of years. Okay? For millions of years. When you look at the pyramid and you're looking at some of these astronomical calculations, it would take millions of years of study and recording and deducting and, reconfiguring and getting it right. You know what I'm saying? To know what we know today. You see, and a lot of it is in our DNA code. That's why they trying to get in there and reconfigure your DNA code. You understand? Matter of fact, they trying to get in you so they can map the damn DNA code. And many of y'all just letting them, let him go in you and this, that, and the third, and this. And so we got to stop this today. And so ancient Egypt's reality was oriented to the south goddess Nut and Hathor, and Hathor is also a creator god. She's also a creator god, manifested also in the Milky Way, and this is where you get the Milky Way. This is where when you come out of your mama's womb, you're going straight to the breast. And we always talking about these gods and shit, and God this and God, and you're always looking at some masculine. And they don't understand this because they so caught up, and they don't understand this shit. They don't understand this shit. When a child come out their womb, their mama womb, they don't want to hear nothing about no damn daddy. Where my daddy? They won't wear the breasts. Nigga, I'm ready to eat. You understand what I'm saying? And so you hear, all these gods talking about Jesus is the sustainer and Yahweh is the sustainer. How the hell you gonna sustain? What you gonna sustain, nigga? What you gonna sustain? See, the thing is, we get philosophical. You see, to the point where we say, but that's after your ass become of age. But when you first coming up out that womb, nigga, you ain't philosophical. You understand? When you in the natural order of the cosmic, blueprint, you coming out and you only going by the cosmic blueprint. You ain't going by all that philosophical bullshit that you learned during the ages where you becoming a man and you listening to all these other niggas teaching you this. You didn't have that coming through the womb. You didn't have that. You had that divine code, and it told you that your mama was your God, that your mama was your sustainer. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I had to come with the black woman is God, because the fact is people look at God as the creative force, and they look at the goddess only as a consort. So people don't understand that move. You understand what I'm saying? They don't understand that move to bring understanding that she is the creator. She is the creator. Okay? She is the creator. It ain't no way you gonna have a thought. You gonna have a philosophical thought until you born. The most powerful act that could ever take place is the act of existence. Being is in existence, nigga. You couldn't even have a thought without being in existence. So how do you come into existence? You got to first come through the gates of heaven. That's the only way you can even have a thought. So you niggas get caught up in the thought. You don't understand the acts that precede are greater than any philosophical thought that you could have. You see? You don't understand that. And so that's why, and so y'all take you take the woman and you destroy her greatness, and so that you could feel like you a bigger man. You see, when a lot of niggas out there, they say, oh man, they saying the black woman is God and this and that, niggas thinking that's for them sweet niggas that's doing that just to, get at a woman and shit. Nigga, we talking about the Holy Mother. You understand what I'm saying? We talking about the Holy Mother. This ain't about no damn, we dealing with the cosmic facts of the universe. We talking about what ran Egypt and Nubia for thousands of years. We ain't talking about this shit, nigga. You in slavery. You won't even rise up on the beach, nigga. So we ain't trying to hear you always talking about somebody trying to devalue your manhood, nigga, the cracker. But you ain't stepped to him yet. You ain't stepped to him yet. And you don't understand that by honoring your woman, that means you stepping up in your manhood to make you take your throne. Because you can't have no throne without respect for her. And as long as you keep devaluing her, nigga, you ain't gonna have no throne, nigga. And that's why you would rather run around with the Cro-Magnon Neanderthal beast woman. You understand what I'm saying? Because you would rather try to, instead of just stepping up for your black woman, but you're gonna require you to look him in the eye and deal with him, and you such a punk, you don't want to do it. So you would rather divert from honoring her. You understand what I'm saying? To run with your, and with your tail between your legs like a little punk, and don't deal with the real issue. You got kings that ruled on this goddamn planet that believe in exactly what I'm teaching you, and they were the mightiest kings that ever ruled on the planet, nigga. So what is you talking about? But you don't understand lineage, because when you start talking about this creative energy, you get to talking about lineage. You talking about divine rulership, nigga. When you put her in charge, you see what I'm saying? In that respect, she's the internal ruler. She's the internal ruler of the house. You the external ruler. And yes, you make the necessary decisions, but she's the internal ruler. It's her house. That's why when you start talking about Nep Het, house, the temple, She's the lady of the house. Then you get to talking about the throne. Then you get to talking about the law, because mama raised babies better than men. Men out there and hunting, doing what, building and shit and doing that. But when you start talking about the house, you start talking about who run the house. Mama run the house, nigga. She taking care of the kid. She feeding the baby. She doing all of that shit. So she know the laws of how to run the house. You see what I'm saying? And that's when the man come in it. He sit his ass down. He want that food. He sit his ass down. He listen. He do what the fuck he told. Just like Eric. That don't mean he ain't in, but he ain't gonna come in there, you know what I'm saying, thinking he gonna run over the woman who been there in the house, been taking care of the baby and taking care of the house while he was gone. You see what I'm saying? So the law on how she run the house is the children. That's the law. You ain't gonna come in here, nigga. You been out there, and then you gonna come in here and disrupt and this. No, that ain't how I do. And understand this mama law. You see what I'm saying? Then, and so a lot of people will take that and say, oh, this, and to a woman, just any woman. No, it's mama's law. See, it's mama's law. Your mama and our mama. So you got to say the holy mother, the divine mother. And not just lessen it, because niggas are trying to get away from that. They'll just pick any woman and say, oh yeah, look how she acting and shit. This, that. No, we understand fallen sisters. We understand fallen brothers, but if she wouldn't be in the predicament she in if your ass would step up and do what you're supposed to do. And so it's easier for you to look at her and say, and look at her and this, that, and the third, and try to lessen her divinity, because nigga, you scared to step to the real issue and put the universe back in divine synchronicity, nigga, by being the sun, being the center of the universe and doing what you need to do. You see what I'm saying? So she is, in that aspect, she's God. She raises the children. She births the children. You know what I'm saying? And so this is the greatest civilizations in Africa. And most African civilizations are matriarchal in that sense. You see what I'm saying? They're matriarchal in that sense because they know that. They know that. As long as they take care of their woman, and their lineage will last forever. You see what I'm saying? But y'all don't understand that. And so you niggas go and you go get the Cro-Magnon and get you some monkey DNA and some bat DNA and all of that and shit, and fuck your shit up. You know what I'm saying? Never had no lineage, won't step to this beast and put it together like you need to put it together so great empires can rise up, but this is creation. So it's just like you created, as the creation of the universe is the creation of the nation. You see what I'm saying? We are the physical manifestations of God. That's why when you look at resurrection, the first resurrection was the sun. So they used the cosmos as the blueprint for our resurrection, our walk on this earth. You see what I'm saying? That as the sun was born, as the sun would go into a zenith, as the sun would die, so would we. You see what I'm saying? And so as they looked at and they saw, the woman producing children, they don't, what else do you ever see? Have you ever seen create a child? Ain't no motherfucker ever seen no hands come through no damn sky and pick up some goddamn mud and mold. No, man. The only thing that we know that been producing producing people from time immemorial is the woman. Period. You don't know nothing else. You understand what I'm saying? But when you look at all the so-called creator gods, they masculine. Every man and it's an enigma, because we know it take a man and a woman to create a child, but it's an enigma that all men got a navel, which means a woman preceded every man on this planet. Preceded him and mama. Shit. That's an enigma, even though we understand. So the first act, and it blows our mind that we have this enigma. You see what I'm saying? It blows our mind, even though we understand on one hand, it do take a man and a woman to bring a child into existence. Every man has a navel, which means a woman preceded every man on this planet. Period. 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 So don't come here talking about you God and she ain't God. period. Leave that shit alone. You see? And so that's why we speak of new, we speak of Heteru, you know what I'm saying? The creative force of the universe. And we got to get back where we, you know, and the law of Ma'at, the law of the mother, the law of the land. You see, the king was the enforcer of the law. He's the enforcer. This is what's going to keep us in power. We've been doing this shit a million years. We're not going to come here and try this shit all, you know, like, you know, we new to this shit. We know what it takes. We've been doing this shit for a million years. And so when you got a law that's been laid down over a million years, you understand what I'm saying? We ain't fumbling like these other peoples. We know what it takes. We didn't have more goddamn empires that rose and fell than damn near the whole goddamn world combined. Lasted longer. When you talk about Egypt and you talking about Nubia, Egypt and Nubia separate. You talking about Nubia lasted longer than Egypt. You know, people say that Egypt was the longest lasted longer than any civilization in the world, but that's not true. It was actually Nubia, because Nubia was a nation before Egypt, and it actually lasted longer than Egypt. When Egypt fell, Nubia lasted hundreds of years after Egypt. So Nubia was actually the longest lived civilization on the planet. You see what I'm saying? So when you're talking about Nubia lasting, you know, on record, about 5,000 years as a nation, not as the early chiefdoms, and you're talking about 5,000 years, man. You could put Rome, you know, and people talk about Rome. You know what I'm saying? When you start talking about Rome, you're talking about 300-400 fucking years. You talk about Greece, you're talking about 200 fucking years, 200 years. You ain't even really talking about shit. You could put Rome and goddamn and Greece and goddamn one era of ancient Egypt, the old kingdom or the new kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So you know there is no comparison, and then you can throw in the rest of them. You could China just came on the scene. So many of these you know, you talking about the whole world combined that can fit into the legacy, and we just talking about we ain't going over to West Africa. We could deal with West Africa, which lasted thousands of years. You see what I'm saying? And you know, in a high civilized state, that you know, where when you go to Europe, them motherfuckers over there running around, you know, still, you know, ain't even washing and shit. Still, you know, dead animals, dead bodies and shit laid up in the goddamn city with the people. That's why they were so sick and shit. They didn't even have proper hygiene at this time. You see? And so this is why we have to establish, because when we start looking at creation, we ain't going up, because what's in the stars is also in the physical form. You see what I'm saying? And so if Ra, the son, is born through the womb of his own mother, Nu, and he's the supreme God of all God, that's saying something. She's greater than Ra. She birthed him. You know what I'm saying? She consumes him every night. You know, and they travels, you know, through her body to be reborn. You see what I'm saying? So that's why we got to understand the difference between rebirth and resurrection. Now, resurrection is the masculine aspect. You understand what I'm saying? Is the but you got to come through the womb. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be reborn. You got to come through the womb. Resurrection only means the power to, you know, continue life, the resurrection of life. You see, which is a powerful aspect. We're not less than that, but you got to be born before you can resurrect. You re-erect, you know, and which is the masculine aspect, to re-erect, to have the power to continue life. But she's the spark of life. You see what I'm saying? Because there's no life until it comes through the womb. So it boils down to that the black hole and the cosmic aspect is the womb of Nu. And that's where everything in this universe came from. You see, it came from that. You see what I'm saying? It came through the womb of Nu, which is the black hole. You see, and so we, as the sun, S-U-N, or the S-O-N, is the, you know, the physical manifestation of God. Yet we have to honor that mother. We have to honor that mother. We have to honor that mother. We ain't gonna. It ain't shit gonna be right. Everything is gonna be chaotic and out of order. Because if you think you can do without that, you is in a you is sadly mistaken, in which we have been sad. We done fell into this patriarchal shit. You understand what I'm saying? And that shit ain't been right yet. All this shit been existing side by side with our oppression and our dumbass ignorance, and we ain't stepped up to the plate yet to correct it. You understand what I'm saying? If you talk about the throne, we talk about the throne, we talk about our set. How you gonna be a king if another man sitting on your throne, nigga? Wake up, wake up. Now let's go on down here and deal with something. And so you see right here, you see the throne, the symbols of God, as I said. You see the cow horns and solar disc, and you also see the throne. You see? And so she is the throne. And so you talk about the throne in heaven. What throne? You see what I'm saying? What throne is you discussing? Ain't nobody, they didn't even know what the fuck a throne was until you got a king. The first kings to ever sit on the throne was in Africa. How the hell you know what a throne was? So that's another stolen legacy from ancient Egypt. The first kings you ever seen sitting on the throne was from out of Egypt. Okay, was from out of Egypt, out of Nubia. You see, and so here you see Khnum, another creator god, but you also see the god is down there giving him life. You see, now that's very powerful. You see the mother goddess down there give him the ankh. You see, she the one gave life. You see, and you see that she's the frog goddess. You see what I'm saying? And you see also connected to water. You see, coming up out of the primeval water. And so Khnum molded African woman and African man on the potter's wheel. You see what I'm saying? Made from the mud of the Nile, the black mud of the Nile. And that's very significant. You see, from the mud of the Nile. And so you got Ptah, who was the creator of the cosmos. We understand Nu. We got that all squared away. And then you got Khnum, who molded man and woman. He created woman first, because you can't create man first because he got a navel. And here you're gonna create a man before his mother. You see what I'm saying? You can't do that. So you created woman first, and then he created man. You see what I'm saying? Then he created man. And so you see here, this is actually a small statue that was made from the mud of the Nile, silk clay. And so you see that we understood that we came from the black soil of the Nile, the black silt of the Nile. And so let me come on down. And so that was a short understanding of the creative force, the creative God. And I'm gonna get off into wait a minute, let me go back through this. Now I didn't even get off into the eggs. I'm gonna have to do a part 2 of this. When you it was right above it. I don't see how I missed that. That's unbelievable. You know what? I can't get away from this. I can't get away from this. I was wondering. I was like, where's the eggs at? And here it is all the time. I just updated one of my videos, The Secret Worship of the Black Woman in Freemasonry, Science, and Astronomy. You see? And so I just, but when we start talking about heaven is my throne and earth my footstool. And so when you understand that heaven is the God is Nu, and the throne is our set. You see? The throne is our set. So heaven is my throne. And so our set is the anthropomorphic manifestation of Nu. Just like I said, heaven is my throne. And so in many instances, they have codified our teachings. And you see, even in the name of our set, you see that egg down there. And that's the primordial egg of creation, which, like they say, cracked open, and the yolk is symbolic of the sun. And I called it in Genesis 1:3, said, God, let there be light. Okay, so what is that light? It's the birth of the universe, the birth of the sun. And so when you go to ancient Egypt, you see that Mama Nuke is giving birth to the one of the most powerful gods of all of creation. You see what I'm saying? And you can't even live without the sun, and that's how powerful the sun is. But he couldn't even come into existence without his own mama. And so this is what you call, what they talk about the goose that laid the golden egg. And you see the egg right there in the symbolisms of Aset. You see the throne, but you also see that egg there. That's the primordial egg of creation. That is the primordial egg of creation that is symbolic of the sun. So the symbols of the name Aset are the symbols of the name of Aset are the throne seat as the phonetic sign for, and I don't want to get all off it because I could just look at this the symbol, the determinative egg symbol of motherhood. You see what I'm saying? And the seated female, symbolic of Aset. You see? And so when you look at that egg, that's feminine. And so in most creative stories, you hear of the egg. You see, even in the Dogon, which I do have here, you see, even in the Dogon, they have the creative, egg, the cosmic egg of creation. You see, and you see right there, you see the first 7 vibrations of the egg of the world. And so again, you talking about Sirius. You see what I'm saying? You talking about the constellation of Orion. You talking about Orion. Let me clear it. Orion. So the 7 vibrations are the seven stars of Orion. I believe Sirius too. You dealing with Sirius also in that aspect. Most time you deal with Orion, you deal with Sirius. Sirius represent Isis. You know what I'm saying? And the constellation of Orion is sacred to Osiris, but this is also in the Dogon. And so when I give you this orientation, and when you start talking about Orion, and you start talking about Sirius, and you start talking about the Milky Way, you looking south. You looking towards the center of the universe when you do that. So it shows that all of our African ancestors were situated or oriented to the south. And so not only was this, this was when the center of the galaxy is the source of its origin. You see what I'm saying? You talking about creation. You talking about create. And when you talk about that egg, you talking about the Black woman as a major, if not the primordial understanding of creation. And yes, we do have our gods. You know what I'm saying? We do. And we give credit to that also, because we are a manifestation of God also. Only God come from God, but we got to get it here in the mind also, and in the spirit, and in our movement on this planet. We got to get it there too. We can't just be spitting this shit out our mouth and we don't manifest it in reality, family. So thank y'all for being here today. Thank y'all for being here today. We about to get on over here to General Steady. We're gonna drop some more smoke. Don't y'all go nowhere. Come on over there. We about to deal with why solar worship was so important to the African, and we're gonna drop some heavy mental. Get on over there, family. Thank you for being here today. This is the General Cyrus Sunseti saying, hey, arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.